Hi everyone, this is Nayely, and for today's video I am going to be sharing with you guys how to drastically reduce the size of your pimples. Now the good news is that I actually have 3 different ways to tackle this issue. And the type of acne that we're going to be focusing on today are the ones that have like the pus on them, the really large sized ones that look like pustules or similar to like cystic acne. So these over-the-counter treatments are going to be more after the fact type of treatment, not things that you're using every single day, but more so what you use after you see those large pimples. One of the first key ingredients to get rid of the pimples is going to be benzoyl peroxide. What this ingredient does is that it works as an antibacterial. So a great product that includes benzoyl peroxide is this pan-oxyl acne foaming wash. Now this does have a really high concentration of benzoyl peroxide. It has the highest percentage that you're gonna find over the counter, which is 10%. So this specific product is very strong. So what I would recommend when using this one is definitely only using it on that specific area, using it as a spot treatment. And yeah, I just wouldn't really recommend to use this so often because using it at such a high concentration every single day or leaving it on the skin for a very long period of time is just not going to be ideal. It's going to actually be very drying for your skin and then it can overly sensitize it. So we want to avoid that. So what I do whenever I put this on, after washing your face, you can just grab a little bit on your finger, massage it onto the area that has the pimple, leave it on for a few seconds, maybe up to like 30 seconds, and then I just wash it off. And that does really well for me. This actually is really good for acne. When we're talking about the skin on your face, that one is pretty sensitive, but when it comes to the rest of your skin, it can tolerate a little bit more. So if you do happen to have acne on your back or along anywhere else on your body, then this is really good for that. Leaving it on for maybe 5 minutes while you're in the shower and then just wash it off. But yeah, this is definitely not something that you would leave on overnight. And because this is an antibacterial, I actually use it for my underarms as well. Again, just leave it on for a few seconds at a time and then wash it off. For my underarms, I do use a little bit more on my hands, but I do find it to be pretty effective at clearing away any smell. So if you are a person that has a little bit of a heavier smell in the underarms, then I would definitely recommend it. It's pretty good. It doesn't work as a substitute to using deodorant, but you know, everybody is different. You're welcome to try it on that area as well if you're already gonna buy it or if you already have it. And what I actually do is I use this in tandem with this on the same night. So the second product that I'm going to be talking about is an ointment, and it's actually also an antibacterial ointment, which if you are Mexican, you already know of this brand, Vitacilina. And it is very good for wound healing as well as for your face. If you've ever watched the Mexican commercials, they always advertise it as like this miracle cream because it works for everything. It's like, oh, what a great face mask. Oh, what a great medicine. Like literally, so if you've already seen the commercials, you would know. And it actually says on here that it is a retinol and a neomycin. So neomycin, kind of like Neosporin or other over-the-counter ointments that you may have heard of before, it has those ingredients in it as well. And the type of retinol that it has is vitamin A palmiate. I have like the legit one from Mexico, so everything's in Spanish. But retinols are actually great antioxidants. They're really great at dealing with acne. They're really great for dealing with inflammation. So whenever you think of the kind of acne we're trying to tackle, the one with pus, you have to think of it as inflammation on the skin. And so thinking about it that way, it obviously makes sense to use an anti-inflammatory ointment or treatment on that spot. So after showering or washing my face and using this on my spot for a few seconds, wash it off, dry my face, use my regular moisturizer, and then add a little bit of this and then just leave it on the actual spot that I'm trying to treat. Leave it on overnight. By the next day, I promise you, it will decrease in size drastically. I actually find that using this ointment is pretty much almost the same, gives me the same kind of results as the next thing, which is actually a pimple patch. Another thing that I wanted to mention about retinols before moving on is that they truly are such an amazing ingredient in skincare because you can use it for so many different things, specifically acne as well as fine lines and wrinkles. So you may have heard maybe your grandparents, aunts, uncles, parents dealing with wrinkles, they might use a sort of cream that includes retinol in it, and you might have always wondered, what is a retinol? At least I know I did. And I never ever thought to worry about it or to even research on it until recently. And I've found out that it actually works really well for acne as well. So I think it's a great ingredient to add into your skincare no matter what your age is, because if you're using it when you're young and in your 20s because you have acne, it's going to help you out with the acne. And if you continue to use it, then it's really going to help you prevent those fine lines and wrinkles that seem like they're too far away in the future, but that can begin to form. And you'll just have such nice radiant skin when you're a little bit older, and your skin and your face will thank you for it. And I'm sure that a lot of people will notice when you're aging and when everybody else is aging, somehow your skin looks a little younger than everyone else's. So I would definitely recommend starting to use retinol or retinoids as you are young, but I would also take it slowly because it can be a very strong ingredient to use. So I'm actually very curious to start using the different gel, which is over the counter and readily accessible as far as money. I think it's about $20 or so, and that one doesn't have such a high concentration compared to other retinols that are out in the market. And so I think that that is a great starter if you're gonna go into retinol, because whenever you use a retinol, as far as acne goes, it can really help unclog pores. It's an antioxidant, and if you do have acne, not only is it helping to get rid of that spot, but it also prevents you getting scars from the acne. So finally, the last kind of product that I'm going to be talking about is hydrocolloid patches, or pimple patches as everybody calls them. And there are a lot of different kinds on the market. I recently bought this one from Starface. I'm not even showing the other side because I completely ripped it apart. But I genuinely like this one because they come in the shape of stars. They're actually really cute. And yeah, you can just put them on your face and leave them on overnight. Make sure that your skin is dry whenever you're putting them on, otherwise they're not going to stick as well. So after you've done your whole skincare routine at night, make sure that the moisturizer dries up a little bit more, give it some time, and then finally go back and put the patch on. So the really great thing about these little pimple patches is that they are going to decrease the inflammation. What they actually do is that they suck the fluid, and they suck the fluid from the actual pimple that you have, and that creates that flattening effect. So by the next day, it should be a little bit flatter. I'm not saying like a complete flatness. It also depends on how large your pimple is at the beginning of the night, but it will definitely bring it down. So the reason why they're called hydrocolloids is because hydro means water, meaning that they attract water to them. And so whenever you take them off, you will definitely see like a yellowy or whitish on the little film of the bandage. So that's essentially what it has sucked out from your pimple. I probably would say that it would be good to add a little bit of moisturizer whenever you're washing your face in the morning, which is something that you're going to do anyways. The cool thing about the patches is that there are also some that exist that aren't very noticeable, so you can even wear them throughout the day. But I just like using them at night. I find that they work really, really well, even just using them at night. And the ones with the stars are so fun, so why not try them out? Even more so, what I like about the patches is that they do come in pretty inexpensive. Honestly too, Vitacilina is super duper cheap. I didn't say this earlier, but it's about $4 here. And you can find them in your grocery store. Just go to the Hispanic aisle. And yeah, so I definitely don't think that you can go wrong with any of these options. I highly, highly recommend them. Your skin will thank you for them, especially if you have something important going on the next day. It will drastically reduce the size of that pimple if you use any of these treatments overnight. And so I really encourage you to try them because they've worked really well for me, and I'm sure that they'll do great for you as well. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!